So finally we sorted out my daughter's stuff. She's 9 and it's scary how much she outgrew. So what we did, we actually pulled out, I would say, about half of her wardrobe. She's 9, but she's very tall for a 9-year-old. Some of her clothes are actually more like 11 to 12. She even has stuff that are for 13-year-olds. So it is scary, but I've been putting this off for a while, so we just had to do it. What I suggest, when you go through your kids' stuff or even your own stuff, have 3 piles. One for disposal if it's really bad condition, you don't want to pass it down. One for charity shops, and one for Vinted, or if you want to sell stuff on the marketplace or Facebook. But today I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you how much stuff she has. So make sure you grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee, because it's going to be a long one. I'm going to walk you through it, how I list the stuff, why I list the things that I list, what are the things that I'm holding on to, how many items I'm going to be listing. So welcome back everybody, welcome back Marshmallow Crew. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I love Vinted and I love Impulse as well. So I've been taking you to and on a vintage journey together. So let's guys do this together. I'm sure we all been here, but we just realized that seriously we just need to get some more clothes because they got nothing to wear. So let's just do this. This is all the stuff that I managed to pull out from my daughter's little wardrobe. It's a bit of an underestimation, but you see how much stuff there is. I think when they are little, we want to hold on to everything, but seriously, there is no point, because hopefully most of this stuff will be used by somebody who will cherish them. But as you can see, we've got a mixture of everything here. We've got thick jumpers, we've got base layers, we've got rain gear. What else have we got? It's actually laid out on our bed because I like to use the same backing when I list. I've got some winter stuff here. Digging down, I got some school shirts that aren't fitting her anymore. I got fancy dress, like, you know, occasional dress. I've got, oh, goodness is what it is. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be pulling this aside. And what I tend to do now is June in the UK, but it's quite chilly. We are actually going through a super chilly spell. I actually grudgingly, but I had to put the heating on yesterday and today because it's just next week I think it's going to be like 8 degrees, the coldest day, and it's, where are we now, at the beginning of June, absolutely crazy. So what I do, I'm going to be pulling these into categories. So obviously the thick jumpers and the winter hoodie, hooded blanket is not gonna go on Vinted at the moment, because think about what is it that you're looking for, because that's what other people will be looking for as well. So all this kind of winter gear, I may even have like a Christmas dress here, it's gonna go in a bag, it's gonna have to go back into storage. So yeah, just common sense, don't list anything that's kind of wintry, like this jacket or the jumper. Also school stuff, I will not be listing this just yet. I'm going to be putting this on probably around July time, mid-July, because that's what I think a lot of people will kind of start looking for school stuff. People who are starting early like myself, I like to kind of look early. But then if I put this up, let's say the middle of July, then people will have like about a month. But you can do it at the beginning of August, although I think a lot of people, especially in the UK, would have started their school shopping by the beginning of August, I presume. But obviously there are people who start later. So I'm going to be pulling these and put them into kind of bin liner storage bags, and I will have to find space. So I'll be listing probably about 5 items, 5 bundles today. Don't do too many, because how Vinted works, if you can even list 1 item a day, but if you list like 30 items a day and you don't list anything, then you kind of end up at the back of the kind of listing, if you like. So let me try to sort this out. I just wanted to tell you this is the way I tend to do it, and I'll show you what I'm going to be listing, because even though it's chilly in the UK, but obviously hopefully summer's coming, so I'll be pulling out some summer stuff and I'm going to put them on Vinted, and I'll show you, as I said, how I'm going to list them, the pictures that I'm going to be taking, how much I'm going to be listing them for. So I shall be back. Wish me luck, everybody. So these are the bundles that I created. So I've got a denim bundle, which is a jacket and a dress. I've got a little Zara bundle, which is kind of a little bolero with a little crop top. And I think this is next. This is really, really nice, kind of long play suit. My daughter wore it for her birthday. And this is a bundle of 2 long leggings and 5 shorts. And again, a bundle of 3 Looney Tunes t-shirts and 2 hoodies. What I tend to do is gather together the ones that are the same age, because when people are looking for anything on Vinted, they tend to look for a particular age. So I think it helps to kind of get them together. So, you know, what I tend to do, if I look for something for my daughter, I look at the other listings as well, because it's very likely they would be the same age. So these are ready to be bundled. The jacket has my daughter's name in it, so I'm going to be doing a cut it out, but the age will still be visible. Always tell the potential buyer that obviously the label's been cut because my daughter's name is on there. So make sure that the clothes are nice and clean and kind of wrinkle free. I don't think anybody expects anybody to kind of iron the clothes for Vinted, but still has to be a little bit presentable. So make sure it's not crumpled up, and obviously nice and clean, and disclose every kind of imperfections. I did not see any kind of staining, any kind of imperfection on these items, but I will let you know if I come across. So these are ready to be listed. So grab another cup of tea or coffee, because it's gonna take me a while. I'm just going to be listing the denim set first. So first of all, I've taken some good quality photos with my phone. I like cropping them on my phone, but you can do it within the Vinted app. And I'm just picking some photos that would kind of represent the items. And you have to obviously write a little bit about the items. Please try to be as informative as you can. You can always tweak this. I actually had to go back and tweak it a little bit, even after you upload it. You have to go into the categories. Vinted already chose, initially it chose a dress, but I had to go back and change it to a jacket because obviously a different size. You need to choose the make as well. In my case, it was George, and also the age of the item, of the child or whatever age it is. You always, if it's an 8 to 9, you always put down 8. You obviously need to put down the material if you can. That would help, but if you can't, and don't worry. And this is the fun part starts, because obviously it will give you an option of how much other people are charging, but this is a set. So I actually decided to charge £4 for this set, because I always like to overprice a little bit, because then you can negotiate over the potential buyer. And the parcel, it comes up as small. I was thinking, because it's kind of borderline because it's denim, so I actually decided to change it to medium, because what you don't want to kind of under kind of price yourself, because obviously Vinted only goes by one item, and this is a bundle, so you can manually change it to medium. And then what I also do, I kind of go back and double check everything before I click on upload. Again, double check the description, click on it, and then it will come up with your listed item. So it's ready to go. Vinted will take a little bit of time to kind of screen everything, because they use AI just to make sure that whatever the listing is will be correct and it's legal, following Vinted's guidelines. Next, it was the next kind of jumpsuit, and it was £3. And the following one is the Zara set. I really like this, one of my daughter's favorite. I charged £5 for this. And then we've got the obviously the t-shirt bundle, and I decided to charge £4 for this. And then we've got the pineapple and the tie-dye hoodie. I really like this. My daughter hardly wore these, and they were £3. And the leggings bundle, which is like 5 shorts and 2 long leggings, I decided to put them up for £5. I hope you found today's video informative. It was a lot of work, but I've got a lot more to do. Hopefully it was encouraging for you to kind of pull out your stuff that you don't use or your kids' stuff, go through it, because every little helps. We put it on Vinted and it doesn't cost, it only costs us our time, and hopefully we will be able to make a few pounds here and there. I will definitely let you know how many of these items I managed to sell, and also I will also let you know if nothing was sold, because it's Vinted, you just never know. Thanks for tuning in today. Please don't forget to check out my Vinted playlist, because I've got a lot of stuff. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like and share. I shall see you all in the next one. Take care everybody. Goodbye for now.
Okay, let's go.